women?
Yeah.
Female drag queen. It's not the same thing, is it? Dressed rightly as girls. You're better. Because I've never known, it's not the same thing. You can't. How could you have like a... You couldn't have a male lesbian, could you? That's contradicting a term. I can tell you, this programme, transgender thing, has sent people around the twist. Why don't you just class yourself as women, artists, or you just be classed as a drag queen? You need to class as a drag queen to get a slot in a gay pub. Because if you do, that's very, what's the word? Discrimination. Why can't you just class yourself as a woman? What is a drag queen? Why you want a drag queen? You can't. So why can't you just become something yourself? Why do you feel the need you have to become a drag queen just to be accepted? What's so good about a drag queen? You actually just... why do you have to think that you're a drag queen? You're not. You're not. Would you get a job anywhere as a drag queen? You're a man, really. Oh, you did a very good job of being with you.
My name's Queenie and I'm one of the housewives of Birmingham. I've been doing drag since I was around 16 was the first time I ever did it, and someone painted my face for me. And then I never touched it again until I was around 21 when I stole some face paint, so I started messing about in the mirror. And then ever since then I've just been evolving my look into something that I'm happy with. I like that it's colourful, I like that it's not drag. I like that it's, I feel that I'm a creature more than a female impersonation. I feel I'm an exaggeration. I feel that the look is friendly, but I am not. And that's a purposeful thing, because I don't want people pulling my wig or taking my hat off or grabbing my lash or checking how I glue my beads on. I feel that's what I am. The House of Birmingham were put together by the promotions team at the Nightingale, and they all happened to have a couple of drag queens in mind, and I happened to be one of them. And we were kind of pushed together and forced to like each other, and thankfully we did. And ever since then we've been pushing off each other and encouraging each other to do bigger and better things and more exciting things. And things are good and they're ticking over, and we've got a lot of people that like us. And this whole alternative drag scene in Birmingham started to bubble up around us, which is nice. Both me as a boy and me as a drag queen have this kind of offishness about us, and that's a defence mechanism for myself, in that I don't like to allow people into my kind of circle without first vetting them and making sure that they're going to be good for me. I only like positivity, I don't like negativity. So I think we're both offish to form that barrier, and it's up to me whether I release it or not. I think the drag me is far more interesting to look at as a being, and far more adventurous in colours and shapes. And I think now I do drag more, I'm happier as a boy to kind of sit in the shadows a little bit and just be with my friends. I don't feel the need to be centre of attention, because I get that when I'm in drag.
I'm Lacey Lou, a female drag queen at the Nightingale in Birmingham. I do drag 2 or 3 nights a week. I started over a year ago. In the days I'm a marketing manager at a salon, and I do freelance work, like freelance drag, freelance photography, freelance marketing, stuff like that. Drag has become like the most important thing in my life, I think. The reason why I started doing drag was to get more confidence and to have some sort of creative outlet. I didn't really have anything, and now I have this enormous creative outlet, and I've met a lot of people who are like me, and I didn't have that before. And it's also really important because I really feel strongly about equality, and working down here as a straight female drag queen, it's just a massive fuck you to every stereotype and everything that I think society wants me to be, and I don't want to conform to it. I want to be seen as someone that supports like these minority groups. Like, as being a woman myself, I'm part of it. So yeah. I like that you're seen as a representative of the gay community. That's a big thing, the face of the gay community. I love just feeling like so creatively, what's the word? Oh god, I can't remember that. I love feeling so creatively fulfilled once I've done a look that I've been thinking about for a week or whatever, and then you get to do it and you see everyone else. That's really great as well. I love that I've met so many people through drag, and that I've learned so much from them, and I've been able to pass on things to them as well, and meet people that perhaps they're on the same journey as me, which I wouldn't have had before. I love that I get so much confidence from it, usually when I've had a drink, but I get so much confidence from it, and I can just feel just like myself, I think.
Well, yeah, China was big on because I hated a lot of things about the gay community anyway. Like, when I went out clubbing in Leeds, it was just shit. It was dead and barren, and everyone was horrible. Nobody talked to each other. Everyone was so normal and straight acting, and I was really exhausted by it. Like, I was going to move over to London, but I was too poor, so I was like, alright, Birmingham is the second city, it must have something for me to kind of sink my teeth into, and then I got here, and then there wasn't really. But then, I don't know, the gale kind of sprung on the four of us, and then we kind of grappled a little bit of creative control and started to do shit, and then, I don't know, the entire prospect of Birmingham, I don't know, just becoming better, like, I don't know, it became a thing that we could maybe begin to do, and I think the four of us kind of etching at it has made me feel a lot less shit about the gay community, just because I've met so many kind of cool queer people who, I don't know, they go against everything that I hate about kind of the nasty, insidious things that is just inherent in gay culture. I don't know, femme shaming and kind of the heteronormativity of everything. It's important for me as kind of a therapeutic outlet, because I am kind of a dry, shy, retiring person, and yeah, it's kind of therapy in a way, because you get to put on the kind of thinnest film of a disguise that you can, which is, you know, a wig, makeup, whatever, and have fun and not worry. And I just think if more people had access to that kind of environment, then they would feel better, which is why we're doing what we do. It's all sprung from hate. All the things that I hate. The first people I started doing drag with were, well, I did it with Rodent, Ben, at first, who started at the same time as me, and then she taught me in London that dressing up is fun and it doesn't have to be serious, and that especially in East London people will kind of appreciate that you've done something that's more than a t-shirt and jeans, even if it's like 10 times more hideous. And then there were like loads of drag hags like Amelia, who always tells me I'm beautiful and she's the queen of East London. I don't know. And then I moved to Bro. And Dan lumped me with all the rest of the fucking drag trolls, and then I learnt that they were all amazing. I think the first one I met was Queenie, and I was kind of blown away by how she can incorporate like everything, including the kitchen sink, but for it to be a kind of distilled, formulated kind of, it's done, it's put together, it's brilliant, and it's hilarious. And then I think I met Lacey on the same night, and then I watched her doing drag, and then it was kind of brilliant because she'd obviously had no kind of conventional kind of teachings of how to do drag. Like, she'd never been on a YouTube tutorial and learned how to do a cut crease. She just completely kind of, I don't know, wrought it for herself and just completely kind of built the scaffolding of drag around herself, and that was brilliant. And then she's a girl too, so a biological woman, so yeah, kudos. Jack / analyse as anything other than a big beautiful green enabler of the Nightingale, who kind of dragged half of the kind of what has become the extended family of the Gale into the Gale. Hall, Adam, Bethany, Tommy, Jenna, there's a bunch of cute people, if I forgot them, whatever, but yeah, they make a big, huge, oh, and Elliot, I love Elliot, but they all make a big, huge, beautiful conglomeration of just weirdness that's a lot more interesting on a Saturday than going to fucking Broad Street. And I suppose I kind of adopted you on the internet accidentally. And you two do brilliant shit. Like, I really don't know what to say about you. I think of my children, Boo and Amber, as two beautiful, overbearing, ridiculously creative, infuriating, lovely, just a gruesome twosome. I don't know, it's a threesome, I don't know, it's one of the weirdest fucking friendships I've ever had, because it's like being in one symbiotic unit with 3 people and just being like one big blob that knows what each other's doing all the time. It also feels a bit like mothering, but only because you are basically my 18-year-old selves, but girls. So I'm always like, I probably shout at you when I should be shouting at myself, because I can see you making shit mistakes like I did, and then I tell you off about it. It's strange and curious, but that's the burden of motherhood. Things where like Paris is Burning is dead, Ball and House and family, mother culture, whatever, is pretty much dead, I think, and it never really existed in England, but I don't know, I thought it would be nice to have like a weird alt fan where you could kind of rely on people without the pressure of, shit, this is my actual parental unit. Plus you were just babies, like when you came to me. It's hard to not want to look after 17-year-olds in a club environment. Like, you want to make sure that they have a nice time, and I spent a good year trying to make sure that you have a nice time, and then probably inadvertently made you had a horrible time for like half of that year. But oh well, it's all an experience.
Show me a dance.
This is the whole thing.
High horn. the other one.
Ricky, shut
No, that's a man.
So do you think the lawyer
Right. I would say straight off, girl.
is it that though?
No.
You still think my drag queen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a boy.
No, I'm a girl.
Oh, I don't know. Probably, yeah.
Most definitely.
Well, I don't know. It don't really work though, does it? That's the old form.
My name's Boost and I'm from Birmingham and I work in this bar with my drag sister and my cadaverous and we in Birmingham. It's important to me because it's literally taken over my whole life and I didn't expect it to at all. Like I was like art first, drag second, and it's all just kind of merged into one big thing. Like hair, makeup, clothes, everything, just the whole look, everything I want to do. So drag's important to a lot of people because it's a creative outlet that they can't have anywhere else. Like as an artist, I find it hard to force myself to draw something, but it's really easy for me to paint my face and go out and be crazy, and it's way more fun than just art in general. Like drag is an art, it's a culture, it's a lifestyle, and I appreciate it a lot.
For me, there's nobody that is better than anybody else. We're all the same. Everybody should just get the chance, and everybody should just literally have fun. You know, I would never. I started doing drag in a long time ago, and for me, it makes no neverminds. You do drag, you dress up, you do this, you do that. It doesn't make any difference whatsoever. If you're male or female, if you do drag, you don't do drag, you dress up. We have a lot of fun. That's it.
Well, gender is my drag persona, which I guess it's like more of an escape than anything else. So like my normal life to kind of my drag life is completely different. It's kind of a way of expressing yourself more than anything else. Like you can be anything that you want to be. That's kind of what I relate to more than anything else. I'd say more so like everyone kind of from Birmingham is my drag family more than anyone else. Like I made more kind of friends from doing drag than what I did before that. So.
Hey, I'm Adam. Hi, and I'm a makeup artist. And that's why I don't know what to say. Next, Bethany.
Go Bethany.
I'm Bethany and I like to stick stuff to my face and put lots of makeup on.
Literally. My name's Elio, and I do what I want.
To escape the ordinary and just be what you want to be. Like
There's no rules, you can look however you want.
no boundaries, no rules, no
one to judge you about it.
Everyone just loves it, and you can do whatever.
Be happy with yourself. Yeah.
No, there's like a whole lot. There's like a whole group of them. There's the Birmingham Queens, which is fab. We're cute.
The housewives.
The housewives. Lacey, China, Queenie, Anna, Bill, Amber, Elliot, Jenna, Bethany, Adam, Paul. Everyone's individual. Bill and Amber are like fabulous because they're different and they always have their own unique style. Everyone's different. All the Birmingham Queens are different. No one has the same style. I don't see the same style with anyone. No one at all. Housewives is cute. Well, I moved here like over a year ago and I went out clubbing and then met China and Lacey. And then that kind of just spiraled into something different. And then I met Queenie and worked with them all. And then we ended up like hosting and it was cute. And yeah, we just ended up doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the Nightingale Club. And now we're here to express, to show everyone's individuality, to show people's art, to prove that it's not just a gay club, that it's not just for people to come out and get drunk and have drinks. It's to go out and have fun and express and be able to be who you want to be. That's for me. You can be what you want to be. If you want to be a green queen, you could be a green queen. If you want to be a a dead up hooker. You could be a dead up hooker if you want to. You could be anything. You could be what you want to be. Like, you can cover yourself in glitter. You can cover yourself in paint, but you can dress up as whatever you want to be. It's the outlook. It's the fun, the difference. It's being unique. Being the inside out. Anna would be the escape, and Anna would be the outlook, and Anna would be the fun side of me. Whereas actually, like, maybe in the past year, like since I've moved here and I've actually realised that we can be anything. Like, I think my day-to-day life has become a huge part of everything and everything we do and everything that we get done on an everyday basis. I work in retail, I work in cosmetics. I think that actually a lot of my drag keeps me alive in my day jobs and in my day life and what I do and who I speak to.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night.
Fresh, new, evolving. It's in its like first stages of like becoming something really big, and we just need the space, the time and effort, money to make a night. And I think all the local drags will go crazy and it'll be fabulous, and I can't wait to be part of it. Just being in the spotlight. Crust is this new amazing night that we're thinking about doing. It'll be cool because me and Anna will be doing it, so we're cool, it'll be cool, it'll be good. Good music, good people. China will perform.
Yeah, it's fine.
We have to. It's another choice. There'll be a big stage. It will probably be at Missing Bar, Crust of the K.
I think it's growing, definitely, more than anything else. I mean, I believe that it's getting better and better.
Fabulous now. Like I said, everyone's got their own style. The Birmingham scene is very small, so like we've got so much to outlook on. There's so much to improve, but we have room for more, and we have room for everyone. It's gonna grow, like, definitely. I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. I think it could grow hugely. I think we've got so much potential. And as people age and progress and get better and better and better, more people will feel like inclined to come out of their shell and to do the same thing that we're doing. Over the times, I think that people have actually started to realise that we are here for the fun, and that people actually really love what we're doing and they love to be here with us. And I think that it brings more people that may not feel as safe to come out, that they come out and they have a great time. They always have a great time. I've never had a message that said I've had a bad time. And like, the housewives have helped so many people. People that have been lost, people that have been drunk, that have been sick. You know, parts of my family have like paid for people to get home from their own money and from their own paycheck. Like, that's amazing. Like, that's a community in my eyes. That's a family.
The Birmingham drag scene, there's not a real drag scene, you know, like there are, like there is in other cities. It's just, you do what you do, you know? There are no limits, there are no boundaries, but it's developed. There are a lot more outlets, there's a lot more places that people can go, and it's, well, I don't think it's drag now. It's literally just, people are going out and having fun. If you're in drag, if it's Halloween, if it's Christmas, if it's this, that and the other, you know, it's just, it's there are no drag clubs now. Everything is just fun, 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 and that's how it should be.
Small.
Yeah. Small. That's a good word. I
small but
small.
Good quality.
Small but beautiful.
Yeah,
literally. Everyone is so on point all the time that
everyone's got their own amazingness.
I'm really excited about Birmingham's drag scene. I think it's it's such an alternative, sort of darker scene, and we're putting ourselves on the map in terms of drag. Over the past year, I've definitely noticed there's a lot more people coming out, and that's exactly what we wanted when we started the Housewives, I think. The Housewives, we're 4 completely different, like, individuals, completely different, that I don't think you can relate our looks or anything to each other, and I think we cover every sort of aspect of drag, which is what I hope. I love, especially on a Saturday when the 4 of us are mostly in, that I get to see them, and I'm closer to them because I've spent the past year with them, and it's just really fun. I see Birmingham's drag scene becoming quite successful, and we're at the very early stages, and it's exciting that we're all a part of it, and we're the ones sort of igniting it and pushing for it. I do definitely see us as on the map for it, for our own sort of unique alternative. I think we're a bit more darker. I hope to see more queens working in the clubs, and I hope to see more people coming out, and I think that will definitely come with time. We've got a strong base, and we've got events coming up, such as Glitter Shit, which is on the 20th of November. I'm really excited for events like that. We've had to do it. We've had to do these events because it's important to us. Me and my friend, who I've known for quite a while now, we're doing an event called Glitter Shit. Glitter Shit came about a good couple of years ago in my head. I wanted to have it anywhere that would play 90s music, and then it went from that, when I started to do drag, it went to I wanted a space where we could perform, and we don't really have that. It's just a lot of us doing door, hosting and flyering and stuff like that. So Glitter Shit is all about my love of glitter, and my love of 90s music, and wanting to have a alternative sort of strange club night experience where you can go in and you can be bombarded with all these different types of performers throughout the night. It's giving people a platform to do whatever they want, really. There's not really any restraints to it, and get more people out of the gay community to come down and have a night out and something completely different.
Drag scene. At the minute, it's not anything concrete, it's not anything tangible, and it's not anything serious at the minute. It's in a phase that I really like. It feels like a baby. There is a distinct lack of ego when you come into it. I would hope so. I mean, people might be talking about me behind my back, I have no fucking idea. But yeah, there is a distinct lack of ego, or pretension, or anything. I would hope that you can kind of present however you wish to and be accepted. But, we're still working towards it. We've been here a year, it takes longer than that to weed out that fucking assholes.
I would describe it as a sapling. So a seed has been planted from an alternative point of view, and it's now growing, and it's starting to emerge and form leaves and branches. I think drag in Birmingham has always been there. It's a very the general idea of drag, of a man entertaining you dressed as a woman in a sparkly frock, and a pair of heels and a nice wig, and they either mime or they're witty or they play a game. But I definitely think that alternative drag is an emerging and growing thing in Birmingham. I think it's important from an art point of view to force creativeness into people's faces, and in a situation where they might not always have it. So a lot of people don't expect to see something like me in a club, and to have it forced in their face and to make them face it is really important, because it makes their perspective on things different. And I think it's important from the history of drag, in that drag queens were the people who have always fought for gay rights, and although we have a general feeling of equality in this country, it's still not perfect, and I think that drag queens are still vitally important for that fight, to ensure that people can gain full equality.
Drag's always going to become more mainstream because it becomes more popular. Like, I've done this now for like 4 years, and like I've seen this for like grow hugely, from having nobody there and having like 2 people that I knew that did drag to having hundreds of people that I know do drag. I feel like it's something that it's gonna grow and it's gonna grow and it's gonna grow, but that's fine. That's good. It means that people can finally feel free and they can feel creative. It's a great show. It's a laugh, and you know, I get to work with a lot of the queens, which is fun. And you know, they're all very inspirational. People feel like they can feel free with these people, then that's great. You know, it's a great way of showing people's creativity, showing people's backgrounds and where they come from and what they've done. And people get to express. It's given a platform for drag queens, hugely, especially in America.
It's a bit annoying because originally it was kind of like set apart, which I quite enjoyed, and I like that. But now that it's mainstream, it's not so mainstream as I would think of it as mainstream. Does that make sense? It's regular and kind of accepted. But to me, drag is just theatre and panto. So, you know, it's not drag. It's just theatre and panto.
I would be happy about drag becoming mainstream and commodified if attitudes changed, but it's not. It's kind of the same group of people who kind of commodify it, homogenize it. I mean, now we have fucking drag race queens on, I don't know, L.com and MTV doing people's makeup and shit, but attitudes towards gender and sexuality have remained really fucking rigid, and I think it's a bit of a piss take that you can come into my space and kind of take or appropriate what is my culture as a gay person or as a queer person, and then just spit it out without taking any of the message other than, oh my god, a man in a dress, that's so fierce. I hate that. I think that's about all I have to say. Just don't fucking take my culture without taking any of the meaning or the message.
spaces, no. I think gay spaces, there's enough gay spaces, but they don't all cater to a queer audience. And even in gay spaces, you can feel uncomfortable in doing what you're doing. So no, I think that's something that's definitely lacking, especially in this city. I can't talk about other cities because I don't really know or go there. So
I think in the Birmingham community, particularly because you've got a couple of clubs at least where you can kind of go to in drag, and you know that not much is going to happen. I believe that there is enough queer spaces.
Absolutely not, especially when you're under 18. Like, I still wouldn't define this club as a safe space. That's just this. Yeah, this is a place to come and get drunk and have fun, but you have to be over 18. So if you're asking me about queer youth, then nah, we don't have anywhere. We don't have anything, especially not in Birmingham. If there is anything, I need to be fucking notified of it immediately, but I went actively searching for it. I found a few small nuggets and then I tried to make them grow. Like, there's not a lot that can be said about safe queer space in Birmingham.
No, I mean, because drag is so embedded, like gay culture is so embedded into like the club and the pub scene, it's just like so much drunken mess, so many creeps out to get vulnerable young people. There's not enough queer safe spaces because there's no daytime activities for queer people to go to and feel safe. I don't feel safe in clubs, I just, you know.
I don't think so, no. I'm obviously not queer myself, but no, I wouldn't say so. Otherwise we wouldn't have like a lot of people coming to one area. I'm glad that we now have Nightingale as that sort of safe space for everyone. I wouldn't say there's enough areas now.
There never ever will be, and there never has been. But I quite like the fact that we can do this.
I always feel safe here because this is where my family is. This is where my living is. I'm here 3 nights a week, you know, I'm here all the time. So I know the same people that come through those doors. I know where to be, where to go if something's happening. I feel safe here.
Definitely, because like when you walk into a club and everyone's like, it's so much better than if you go into a club and it's like fucking silent.
Definitely, the Nightingale's become like a home to so many people. It doesn't matter if you're gay, it doesn't matter if you're straight, it doesn't matter like whatever. It's like safe for everyone, especially like creative people like us. We get to just go out and just be like ourselves.
No. Because they're overrun with straight people.
I think it's safe enough. I don't think they're necessarily completely safe. But I feel that my job is to ensure it's safe for those people that want to dress up or want to come in a pair of pants and heels or want to wear blue wigs. I feel it's my job to ensure that safety for them because I'm a bitter old bitch and I will tell people to shut up.
I've never, I think it's a bit optimistic to ever hope that a nightclub where people will be, I don't know, drinking, dancing, interacting is ever going to be completely utopian and perfect, but, you know, I hope that this feels like a queer space, you know, that is safe.
No, not safe completely. I don't think they'll ever be safe completely. Not in clubs anyway.
Yes, we have been. My fucking straight girls that don't understand what we're doing. It's like, oh, what's your name? I'm like, Adam. And she was like, I think you should be Alicia. It's like, no, my name is Adam. I don't do drag. What I do is boy. And it's like, oh, no, you should be Alicia. You need a girl's name. It's like,
When I did that 4th of July, I had this guy, he followed me around like 3 times, he grabbed my dick.
Yeah.
and was grabbing my ass, I was like, what are you doing? I was like, no. I wasn't, to be fair, I wasn't in a lot, but yeah, still, I was like, no.
Every night, grabbing my arse, grabbing my tits. People love tits. Yeah, it happens every night, and it can be so quick, and you don't, like, they've gone into the crowd before you even manage to grab them and punch them in the face.
Many times, but I don't know what fear is. So.
Yeah, definitely. I've been harassed in a gay club, but it's been different. When I've been harassed in a gay club before, it's not been when I've been in drag. It's kind of like when you're in drag, they kind of see you as something else, not as just a normal person that walks in.
In a gay club, no, but I first worked in a straight club, and although I was never harassed to the point of feeling uncomfortable, I've had people say things or shout things that have made me feel slightly on edge, and just aware of where I am and what I'm doing, and aware that I need to keep myself safe. But no, I've never been in a situation in a gay club where I feel I shouldn't be there or I'm not comfortable.
I don't think so. No. Never. I don't think I have.
What I do hate is the RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm a woman. Gay transvestites. I just think art is art, transvestism and drag is drag. You know, for me, drag is drag. It's all art. You know. Other than that, RuPaul's Drag Race, stop with it.
I hate the unnecessary comments. I hate the negative attention it gets. I hate everyone being worried about me. I hate my mom telling me to be safe. I hate people thinking they're inclined to touch you because you look a certain way, you look interesting to them. I hate worrying about my friends. It's a lot of bad. I hate how people pigeonhole drag queens and how they think female drag queens aren't real drag queens.
I hate how long it can take and how short it lasts. I hate that it can take me a week to create my outfit and 3 hours to put my face on, and I work for 4 hours, and then I have to wash it off because I have to get home to bed. I hate people's preconceptions of it and how that I don't fit some of them and that they're not comfortable with it. I hate that people want it spoon-fed to them when real good drag queens have found it themselves. And it's about a certain amount of effort. And I think if you don't put that effort in, then you'll never be a decent drag queen, because you're just going to be a simplified version of someone else, which is boring.
I hate being groped. I hate being asked about my genitals as if it's anyone's business. I hate that people automatically assume that I am a kind of shallow person who is obsessed by the artifice of it, when in fact I actually do it to kind of highlight the artifice. Plus it's just fun. It's fun to dress up. I was talking about what I hated, and we moved away from that quite quick. But yeah, I think it's kind of, I was definitely at a point where I could either become the queer nihilist and say fuck everything about trying to act anything like a straight person or living like a straight person and just live destructively and have like, I don't know, take as many drugs as you can, fuck as many people as you can, or I don't know, there is kind of, you can go down the route of the queer kind of optimist. where you try and improve things, which I hope I've done.
Sometimes when you're out and you're like not in the right feeling, like when you work so much, like I'm tired. But I love drag, like as soon as I'm in drag, that gives me the enthusiasm to carry on and to keep going and to do more and more and more. But I think everyone hits a brick wall. Everyone hits that wall before you carry on.
One of the main things really that I dislike about drag in one sense is the fact that it's meeting people in drag, and then when it comes to actually speaking to them, it's kind of like you've got a barrier, and when you speak to them in drag, being this more fabulous kind of character, so then when you kind of strip that away, you're not that person at all. So it's like they're meeting a better version of yourself. So that's kind of the down point of drag.
What I hate is I spend hours getting ready, and it's such a release, like a creative release, and then you walk out and your lack of confidence hits you, and you realise that you're in the spotlight, you're in this full like guiche or done up, and then it becomes like a target against you, I think, like yourself. I hate people asking me about my gender. I get that a lot. People can't tell, or people presume that they can tell, and they feel like they need to box you in. They need to find out your gender, so they've got you worked out. I hate that I've got to step it up a bit more now, and that could be performing, and that quite scares me. I hate that sort of thing. Sometimes I really hate having to come up with a new look, and I can feel really creatively stunted, and that can be, I hate that, I really hate that actually. When you can't come up with something creatively good enough, or that you have when you can't get inspired enough, and you're not pulling out a look that is better than the last one, it can make you feel like you haven't sort of. I feel like over the past year, when I've been with people who have already done drag for a bit, I've had to very quickly catch up and get on the same sort of level, I think. And when you can't pull out these looks and get a good reaction and get a good response, that can be quite demotivating, and it's a constant thing that I think about, all these different things I could do, and when you just can't quite get this look, it's very frustrating, and you just feel like you aren't progressing enough.
The worst thing to happen to me in drag. I'm quite fortunate because I present as quite, I don't know, a scary thing that's maybe not quite as fey or as femme as people used to, so I kind of have the luxury of looking a bit creepy and off-putting in the first place so people don't bug me, but you know, there is the inevitability of being, I don't know, I've been groped more times than I've had meals. I've been shouted abuse at more times than I've had hot meals. I've had people ask me about my gender. Am I a tranny? Like, am I don't know, am I just a faggot? Like, yeah, I've had lots and lots of horrible things said to me. I've never been beaten up, I don't think. It's never gotten to that point, but thank God. So, it's not that much of a horror story, but yeah, I suppose I've been working here for a year, and the gropes and the questions and the kind of general invasiveness that comes with presenting as anything other than a man or a woman dreams, basically.
Yeah, nothing that bad, to be honest. No. I've never been like, I don't know, something really bad.
Nothing's happened like major.
Yeah. Nothing's really happened.
It's just all friendly and happy, I suppose.
I've had a lot of things. The worst thing, which was completely unexpected, was I was approached by a man who began to shout in my face and said that I was offensive as a transsexual. He presumed I was transsexual, that I was offensive, and he was just sort of swearing and a lot of aggression, which was very scary. I also get, I think it's just like a general, like perhaps bitchiness, I think. Just like people assume that because you're putting on a hyper feminine sort of look that you're very shallow or you've got a big ego, as China said, like just these false sort of things that people want to put onto you because of the way you are, that you're attention seeking as well. Stuff like that, yeah.
Getting grabbed at Pride, like my crotch. This like 6-foot guy came up to me and grabbed my crotch and screamed, "Do you have a dick?" And I was just like, and screamed really loud and brushed it off and walked away. And just waiting for a taxi and not being left alone and being harassed and, you know. Oh, someone tried to rip my wig off before. That ruined my whole night. And it was barely pinned in and they ripped it off kind of from behind. Yeah, that caught me off guard. That's bad. It's a bad experience.
My eyeliner going wrong. It's really hard to kind of say because when I'm in drag, I know it sounds really kind of conceited, but I feel somewhat untouchable. As in, like, you can't touch kind of like my interior, if that makes sense. So everything else is on the exterior. So then what I'm giving out, what everyone kind of reacts to, it's not what I am, if that makes sense. So I can't really say that. It's more so their reaction more than anything else.
I wouldn't say bad things, like things happen for a reason. Being pushed out by people, that was fab. Certain people. People, like there's certain people that like, when you grow up with people and then they push you out, but you know, like it's great, like people grow different, like people separate, people have their own lives and they change who they want to be and they change what they're doing in life, so, but that's how I got here today. Never been attacked. I'm 6'4". No one's gonna touch me, bitch.
Everybody is valid. To me, everybody. Everybody's valid. There are no invalids.
Most definitely. For me, like obviously I'm a woman, I'm a female drag queen. I think it's more of a new thing, like most definitely, perhaps not in London, but in Birmingham it's very quite new and there's only a few of us, and we have like a lot of input, I think, a lot of control and power as well, just as much as the men as well, and I think it's more interesting at the moment for some people because they haven't seen it before and we are like the shiny new thing, I think.
Yes, and I always have, just because I think it's it's just a fucked up thing to say to a woman as a male doing female impersonation. I suppose you aren't allowed in this space, you aren't allowed to kind of curate your own gender in the same way that we can, you know, when they have that experience and we don't. We're just clowns. I think that sometimes like female drag is becoming so much more prominent and they fucking come out strong because they know life as a woman. I think it comes down, one, to quite low-key misogyny, and two, just because of the history of it, it has always been a field dominated by men, in the same way that doctors were all men, you know. It's one of the same positions, it's just an unorthodox one. Women are breaking glass ceilings, or were breaking glass ceilings all the time, and this is kind of the last one left. Drag is the last space to be infiltrated, and rightfully so, by women. I just think, yeah, history and sexism is about it. It's all well and good to say. In fact, yeah, I think another part of it is because males who do drag usually do female impersonation, and people feel kind of cheated by the idea that a woman becoming as a woman is, it's just not. There have been no layers added, there's been nothing done, but female drag queens at the minute are kind of, I don't know, expressing a massive amount of creativity. They're completely subverting kind of every trope of what a normal drag queen does, and it's sick as fuck. Like, please continue.
Definitely, I definitely think they're valid and they're important and they're necessary, and I like that they are there, and I like that they're happening, and I think they answer a different question to male drag queens, because they're putting something, a different idea into people's conscience, and making them question it and think about it. And
yeah, I do. But for a long time, I felt kind of skeptical. I was kind of like
skeptical
about it, because that's kind of what I've been taught to think. Like, you're taught to think drag's just about a man dressed as a woman being, you know, silly, crazy, but no. Trying out drag and being a drag queen and representing female drag queens, definitely valid. Like, I am valid as they come. I'm a drag queen.
Absolutely, there's still the effort and the work that goes into it. It's not discounted just because they're a woman. You can do whatever you want, and it's just as valid as anyone else.
They do. Everyone can be a drag queen, no matter where you are, who you are. Everyone can show their creativity. It's art. It's art at the end of the day. What does it matter?
I think they're important, and I think they're current, and I think it's a nice way that the drag scene has turned. I think it's interesting, and it makes people question, and it makes people stop, and it's injected new life into the drag scene, because people are so expectant of drag queens, but now there's female drag queens that cause them to question and stop and think and reevaluate.
Everybody that's artistic is important. You know, I'm not a female impersonator. I don't wear tits, I don't tuck so much, you know, because it's like putting a mattress into a pillowcase. Everybody's important. It's not a case of male or female, or, you know, it's literally just, hi, here we are. The drag I do is genderless, the drag that you do is genderless. You know? I don't wear tits, I don't really tuck. You know, drag is drag. To me, drag is, well, it's kind of been, it's been put into boxes. For me, drag has always been, drag, I do a show, that's one form of drag. I do this, that's another form of drag. And then when I take my clothes off, that's another form of drag. You know? It's, I wouldn't say it's genderless, but I don't know. It depends what you feel.
I think the presence of female drag queens in the club has definitely shifted. It's kind of shifted the attitude in general somehow, just because, I don't know, it feels like when you're in a club and it's still just men in drag, it still feels like quite a male dominated space, whereas kind of having women in our drag troupe and in our extended drag fam as well, just, it kind of makes people more aware of what we're trying to do, which is like, gender is a fucking lie, like this is all just artifice and adornment. And I think female drag queens are helping to kind of hammer that home more now, just because people are so used to seeing a man in a dress, whereas people tend to ask more questions and be more curious if you're a girl, because they want to know, like, why on earth are you presenting this way? Like, why do you feel the need to, you know, put on all this adornment and go out and have a nice time? Whereas with drag queens, it's expected. That question is never asked anymore. We're a fixture. We've kind of become commodified already. People are already completely used to the idea of a man in a wig and a dress. It's old hat, it's old trick. A woman in 3 wigs and a dress is a lot more interesting. Because, yeah, it all helps to smudge the lines of what you should be doing, and I think people really feed off that energy because, yeah, they need to know that this whole fucking joke. You can do whatever you want.
Because we're cool. It's like as backwards as it gets. Like a girl dressing as a girl to go out is like really punk and cool and new and rebellious, and I love it. I admire every single one of them, and I back them up. Yeah. It's just different. Like it's unique, and people should appreciate it because they've never seen it before, and now in their face with no choice. So, yeah, it's cool. We've all got to know that we can all do what we want, and it doesn't matter whether you're a woman or a guy. Just do what makes you happy. Like promote what you want, be creative, do however you want. Just do your art, make yourself happy. Like do whatever you want.
It's all art at the end of the day. Yeah. I don't think it matters what you have in between your legs, so long as you're happy and expressing yourself. Like who cares? It just doesn't matter. So long as you're doing what you want to do, like. It's just irrelevant, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's really important because there's probably a lot of women that want to do it, I know I get a lot of people say to me that they wish that they could do it, and they've never thought that it would be something that they could do, which, so, like, that's mad. When the female drag queens are out and other women can see, I think that's really important, that they can feel like they have access to those creative things just as much as men do. It's such a male-dominated job or sort of like creative outlet. So by them seeing us, it's just, you know, I think it might give them a bit of encouragement to just go and explore what they want to do creatively. I did find out a couple of days ago that I was the first female drag queen in Birmingham, which was amazing. Like, that's like a history thing, and I thought it had happened before. I thought there would have been women. There's a lot of like strong women in Birmingham. I thought they would have done something. You know, like I just presumed that someone else had. It's definitely like I feel very proud. It's probably like the first time I felt really proud actually when I found that out. So yeah, I remember the feeling when I was in the Pride Parade. I was getting ready and I was in the float, and I felt very proud because I'd heard, like, from talking to people who are older and that had been on the scene for a while, that they thought I had been the first female drag queen on the float. So I felt very proud to represent, you know, a community that has like definitely taken me in, and I've never felt more at home than down here. And I get to stand in the club and on the floats and be seen as a like massive supporter of gay rights, and that's really important to me. That's why I started working down here. I used to work down here on the bar, and yeah, it's definitely like a proud feeling.